Hello and welcome to the Status Chat for Friday, June 26th. What do you say we look at our numbers right off the top? Now, we've been tracking the number of actives in the system, which could represent the available inventory, and we look at the under contracts, those which are already been claimed, so to speak. So we kind of look at the ratio of those two to see what we're trending. Are we getting more and more inventory on the market, or are we losing inventory? And what does that really mean? Are we actually selling the ones that are on the market? If you have real property to sell in the greater Murfreesboro, Rutherford County area, then call Dale to sell at Benchmark Realty, 615-409-SOLD. That's 7653 or 615-809-2323. Now that we snuck that in on you, got that out of the way, as any kind of online advertising, I have to meet certain requirements, and we've just done that. Now, last week, we had 8209 active. We had 4861 under contract with a 59% under contract ratio. Now let's look at what this week's numbers are. This week active in the system is 7854. That's a pretty good jump in the down direction, so we're having less inventory. 4982 under contract. That's actually up, just like it's been trending, for a 63% ratio. Now, we have other numbers we can look at, and last week I added a few more in there, went a little bit long. So one of the things that we can look at, quite honestly, is the days on market. Are things really slowing up? And we saw last week, for those under contract, they're going quick. Now we can check the ratios. We can do all kinds of stuff. Look at the ratio, look at the number ones, look at the ones in particular that are going long on the market. And chances are what we're seeing is loans are available. And if your house is ready to be sold, it's going to get sold. And if your house is sitting longer on the market, perhaps it's something that's kind of holding it back. But at a 63% under contract, if you've got a house to sell, now is a good time to do it. Although we have had some unemployment figures, and I happen to have some of those right here. In April, it was 15.5%. In May, it was 11.3%. Now, in the region, we just had some bad news. 2 days ago, 6/24, the Tennessean reported that 525 people will be getting indefinitely laid off of the Spring Hill plant, GM plant, and they're going to actually eliminate one entire shift and go down to first and second. So that's not good. But there is some good news out there, I think. Sometimes we have to go through the weeds to find it, but today in the news, the CDC was saying that it looks like we may be as high as 10 times the number of infections of this coronavirus than they had anticipated. And you might say, well, gosh, that's awful. But what it really means, if you've got 10 times the number of infections, that means our mortality rate is 1/10 of what they thought it was. So instead of being 1 to 2%, it's going to be, put a decimal point in front of those. So it's going to be a lot better, I think. Still seems like there's a lot of political and social unrest under there, but I think in the long run that's going to help our real estate market, because just like I showed you in the tax episode, people, they're raising taxes on folks and they're holding them out of work, and that's putting some people in a real bind, and those who can will relocate to friendlier locations, which is Tennessee. So if you've got a home to sell and you're looking, maybe you don't want to, or you need to, or you're considering what's the worst case, it really would be a good time to call Dale to sell. We can talk, find out what's your situation, what your potential market value could be. Of course, it's only going to be good at the time we do it, because everything changes week to week. We see this on these numbers. But don't give up hope. Things are still going pretty good for those in better position than maybe some of the others are. Loans are available. They're still loaning money, and they're at really great rates. The credit has gone up on the lending a little bit because of the uncertainty, but they're still writing loans. So these numbers, 63% of that ratio being under contract, inventory shrinking, we do know that they are selling. This could be the best time for you. So call Dell to sell.